I'm like, I'm actually a little bit warm, isn't it? Started. You did, Carolyn. Oh, feel free to share the link. Send me in an email. I'd love to read it if it's something you're sharing. That's exciting. Nice. All right, YouTube is up and running. Instagram is up and running. Let's get rolling. We are working with Sacred Destiny for the week of May 16 through May 22. Hey, Kathy. Um, and so if you're in my newsletter, you saw I posted, we have a full moon, depending on where you are, East Coast and East, it's tomorrow. I mean, East Coast, I think it's 12:15 a.m. West of East Coast, it's tonight. And it's also a total lunar eclipse and visible in North America. So I did put a link in my newsletter where you can click that and you'll be able to see the moon locator, and it will tell you what time and where you can see the moon. But for us on the West Coast, look at the east horizon, and as the moon is coming up, that's right about when. But it's a total eclipse, and so it'll sort of turn the moon red, which is why they call it a blood moon. But get your full moon thing going on, because eclipses are all about change, and they're generally about change that we are not anticipating, a little bit of sudden change, things that we just weren't really planning on. So we have that, and then we have the full moon in Scorpio, which is so like get deep in there, because that's where the stuff is going on. Anyhow, that's tonight. So let's get started on our messages. We'll start with general messages for this week ahead. Again, we're using Sacred Destiny. I chose Sacred Destiny because our life is our own, right? It is sacred. Our destiny is sacred. We're not waiting for other people. This is us, right? And so I wanted to use this deck. And then after the general reading, I will pull cards for anyone who has a question, or if anyone has a request just for a general card. So if you do have questions or requests, do me a favor if you would, and just hold off putting it in the chat until we finish with the general reading. All right. So again, thanks everybody for being here. And I already have a card for Monday and Tuesday, so I'm looking for a card for Wednesday and Thursday, and then a card for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay. Ooh, juicy, juicy. And I have a new deck that I've been using. It's called Goddesses, Gods, and Guardians, and I did post a reel as well as a short on YouTube with one of the cards yesterday. And I've been using it for myself, and I'm really, really liking that deck. So anyhow, focus, Noelle, focus. Okay. Monday, Tuesday. Purity. Yeah. Can you see how that is just like spot on? Again, we're talking about the full moon. We're talking about letting go. We're talking about really, really letting things die off, like just go, so that we can begin again. I mean, that's then the new moon comes, right? And so it's death and rebirth, right? And so if we can release, if we can willingly let go, we can come to this place of purity. We can heal. I wrote about that in my newsletter. We can heal. We can, find peace. We can just, we can forgive. We can have compassion and come to this place of purity. So really, really working with that full moon energy. I really encourage you to do that. Wednesday, Thursday. Courage. And, It takes courage. It takes courage to let go of beliefs or habits or old wounds and memories that we somehow, as painful as they may be, somehow they give us a weird, twisted sense of comfort, right? And it takes courage to say, I'm done with it. I actually don't need that. I thought I did, but really I'm pretty okay without it. It takes courage. So be okay with it. Trust it. Like, trust yourself. Okay. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we come to a place of love. Oh my gosh. This reading is spectacular. It's spectacular. So, coming through the changes, coming through the healing and the really getting in touch with some old stuff, it takes courage, but boy, oh boy, is that self-love? Is that coming to a place of full love for yourself? In that space, you then can really, really love everyone, love others. But we got to really come through purity. We have to have the courage to do it. And when I say courage, I mean, like, really digging within, because you have that power, you have that ability, you have that inner strength, you really do. And then coming to your love, your place of love. I This reading is spectacular. I'm going to say it's spectacular. Well done. Well done. Okay. Good morning to Australia. We've got some folks over here on YouTube, Bloomington. Hello, hello. Okay. I've got some decks on the table. So would anybody like a card for a specific question or just a general card request? Carolyn, weren't they spectacular? I mean, really. And the imagery alone, I think, sort of sets us up. Look at the white, the purity, like the blank, right? We're going to let things go. The courage. Sometimes it's really hard to do, but we can dig in deep and stir up those waves, right? And then look at the beauty and the peace and the flourishing that comes out of love. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Okay, Carolyn, a general card. Yes. Yes, for Carolyn, a general card for Carolyn. Uh, Carolyn, I am going to my Reflect deck. So this Reflect deck is all questions. And they're questions to come back to you to say, think about that, give some thought to it, spend some time exploring the question, different aspects of the question and getting truthful with the question. So let's see what we've got here for Carolyn. It's a little bit of an awkward deck, but in terms of size, let's get a card for Carolyn, for a general card for Carolyn. Oh, yeah. Okay. I think I've seen this. I mean, I know I've seen it before, but I don't use this deck often, and it's funny how this card's come up several times. Here it is. Who is the type of person I want to become? So that is a question to sit and ask yourself, right? Who is the type of person I want to become? You are who you are already. That's not changing. But how do you show up in the world? How do you interact with others? How do you value self? How do you express love for self and others? Right? How do you write in your blog? How all of that happens, that is the question. Are you to the place that you want to be? Is there something about yourself that you've said, I wish I bloody, 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 blah? Well, you can. You can. And it goes back to that courage card. So give some thought about that. Okay. Um, those cards are on point with my journey. The general reading or that card from Reflect deck. They're really great. Yeah, that Destiny deck, Sacred Destiny, when I was pulling out my cards, Sacred Destiny was like, wee wee wee. Okay, Laurie, general card for my interesting upcoming week, please. Okay, I am going to go to Healing with the Angels. I will tell you, as many of you know, I've been reading tarot cards since I was 18 years old. But oracle cards weren't really a thing back then. And I think it was 2012 or 2013, a friend of mine got this deck, Healing with the Angels, and said, I have a card deck. She didn't really know what to do with it and said, I think you might like it. And so I borrowed it from her and I started using it straight away. And the readings were like, and I said to her, I will buy you another deck, but I need to have this one. Like this one and I have already bonded. So this was my actual very first Oracle card deck. So let's get to a general card for Laurie. Madhu, can I get a reading? Yes. And Shri, I see you as well. The deck is beautiful. Yes. Okay, let's get a general card for Laurie for this interesting week ahead. A general card for Laurie for her. Ooh, okay. We got some situations. Okay. Serenity. Serenity. Instagram, you know everything's backwards. It's the world we live in. Spiritual growth. And dreams. So you said it's an interesting week ahead. Well, you got a lot of interesting things to work with. So serenity. And I think that this is really talking about you going into this week and going in a place of acceptance and calm and being at peace with your decision. Your spiritual growth, I think we're all on this path, right? And for you, really tapping into this energy of this week and really working with that full moon and that eclipse, because I do think that the path you're on and that you've been on, this is supporting that. This is coming in and saying, we acknowledge that. We see that and we appreciate what you're doing. Don't stop. And the dreams is sort of the question about Carolyn, you know, what do you want? And things don't have to remain in a dream state, right? Wake up and make things happen. But feel free to dream and allow yourself to dream. And don't put yourself in a position where things aren't possible. That's outside the box. He wouldn't, she wouldn't, they wouldn't. Dream big. Go big or go home. Okay, those are the cards. All right. So we have Shri has requested a card, and then over here I have Madhu has requested a card. I see Mia and Anne. So let's get a card for Shri. Shri, I am going to Gilded Tarot, and this is the general card for Shri. Have a general card for Shri. Yeah. All right. Shri, you've got Ace of Swords and Knight of Swords. Ace of Swords and Knight of Swords. So we're in Mercury retrograde. That's Gemini. That's air. That's swords. Ace of Swords is like a big aha moment. And we talked about the eclipse being a big change, something you weren't expecting. So be prepared for that. Be prepared for something to drop into your lap that's going to be like, oh, okay. And then the Knight of Swords, which is the fastest card in tarot, Act on it. Do not sit and ponder. Don't overthink. Do it. Okay, that's for Shri. Okay, Madhu is looking for a general reading. So let's get a card for Madhu, and that is Cosmic Cat. Love it. Big dreams are the only dreams. Yes, Alice. Allie, listen to me. Allie, Alice. I see, I look at your name, Allie, and I get confused, and I know you are Alice. Okay. Yeah, Shri, nice, right? Yeah. Okay, Madhu. Let's get a general card for Madhu. Ooh, I love it. Indulgence, permission to pamper. I love this deck so much. So, Madhu, indulgence, permission to pamper. Give yourself permission to take care of yourself. Do the things that maybe you don't usually set aside time to do. Things that maybe you are like, yeah, maybe I should do this instead. Indulge, indulge. May it be a chocolate bar or a pint of ice cream or going and having your feet rubbed, whatever it is. This is you. You take care of yourself and be okay with it. Okay. Alice, I see you over here. Let's come back here to Mia. I'd love a card. What to focus my energy on, or something to that extent, based on continued events in my life. By the way, I also plan to schedule a private reading. We'll email you. Yay. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So for Mia, what is something to focus on as things continue to evolve? And that I am going to the power of surrender, because I think the focus is going to be very clear to you. I don't think you need instruction on focus, but let's talk about what might be obstructing that view a little bit for you. Let's have a card here for Mia. A card for Mia. Focus. Yes. Surrender to trust. Instagram, surrender to trust. So the card says, trust yourself and your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. I don't think I have to say too much about that, Mia, in terms of this, as you talk about the continued events in your life. I think that it's just a matter of surrendering to trust, not second guessing, sort of what I was saying here with Shri, not second guessing, not, shoulds or woulds or anything like that. I could have done better. I could have done. What's done is done. You cannot fix it. You cannot change it. You can only go forward. So trust that. Yeah, really. Trust yourself in your decisions. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you've chosen the right path. And that Knight of Swords from Shri is take action. Okay. All right. So let's see. We had Annette and then Alice. So let's see. I see some other folks in here. Annette, can I get a card for Frank's feelings for me? Let's see. Don't know. You know what I'm going to say, folks. I don't know about Frank's feelings. You have to ask Frank. But we can get a card here for, and it's the Six of Swords. Seeing a lot of sword energy popping up here. So 6 Annette is related to the lovers. And the lovers in tarot is about love and choice. And it's very much about self-love. And so this journey that you may be going on with Frank, make sure that you are getting in this boat with all the love for yourself, with all of your heart in here first, and not worrying so much about Frank. Okay. Kathy, Mia, Isamara, hello from Portugal. Wonderful. Oh, Madhu, I now see your question about finance. But I'm going back to your indulgence, permission to pamper. And I would say, law of attraction. If you want money, you got to spend some money. If you hold money, you're telling the universe you don't have enough. So do something to pamper yourself and tell the universe, I know when I spend money, I can receive more money. Okay, let's get a card for Alice. And then I see Shauna over here. And Kathy, Mia's computer went down. It's Mercury retrograde, I'm telling you. But she can, she can hit the replay and come to her reading. Okay, Alice and then Shauna. Alice, ask for a card on new beginnings. Alice wants a card on new beginnings. Card for new beginnings. I am going to Wandering Star Tarot. Wandering Star Tarot. I love this deck. Hello, Josoy. Hola. Shauna, I'll be right there for you. Let's get a card here for new beginnings for Alice. Ooh, hello. Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands. Look how beautiful she is. So in terms of your new beginnings, I mean, think about Wands being the fire sign, right? And so fire, we are following, we're like after it, we're chasing it. The Knight of Wands is really about that. The Knight of Wands goes out and has such conviction, right? And really believes things and wants everybody to know. And so talking about these new beginnings is speak about it, tell people about it, don't hide it. Go out there with that energy of the Knight of Wands, like your fire within, and go out there and live what it is that you want in that new beginning. So part of making it happen is believing that it's happening. Part of believing that it's happening is talking about it like it's happening, right? So yeah, love it. Okay. All right. Let's come over here to Shauna. Could I please get a card for love for Shauna? Yes. Yes. Conviction and passion, taking that step. Yes, Alice. And the Knight isn't the most mature, right? The Knight has a lot to learn. But the Knight of Wands just believes it so much. And then with that belief, with that conviction, then the learning, the lesson, the development, the maturing about that happens, right? But you first got to go out there. Okay. Shauna, a card for love. A card for love for Shauna. A card for love. What card do we want for Shauna for love? Shauna, I'm going back to the power of surrender. So let's have a card for Shauna for love. A card for Shauna for love. Hey, and if you like this reading or you like the cards you receive, would you do me a favor and hit like, give it a thumbs up, send some hearts, comment? That would be really great. And follow me on YouTube and Instagram. Okay, Shauna, a card for love. Surrender to complete healing. Open fully to the loving, compassionate forces of the universe that support your physical, emotional, and spiritual healing. Here you go, Instagram. So, coming to love, one of the things that I talked about in the general reading is we have to get to that place of love of self, of healing old wounds, so that we can move into that space of real self-love, of not judging self, right? And when we get there, then loving others is so easy. Even the people that we don't really care to interact with, we can love them. We don't love what they do, perhaps, but we can love them. So, in terms of your question about a card for love, is that there's some healing for you. And again, going back to the reading at the beginning, talking about using this moon, this full moon, this eclipse to really work on some old stuff and really trusting yourself with your own courage to move some stuff out and let go of it and not holding on to it. It's a weird attachment, a twisted attachment that just needs to be untangled and let go and be free of that, and then move into love. Okay. Let's see. And you're welcome, Anne. Shauna, okay. Isamara, let me get you. May I ask you a question? I live in Portugal, but I've been thinking about moving to England next year to start working as a doctor. Oh, is it a good decision? Oh, okay. Oh, Shauna, now I'm seeing your question about a card for new beginnings instead. But take the same message, the one that fell on the floor. Take the same message, surrender to complete healing. You can begin anything, but you got to get rid of old stuff. Okay, so Isamara, looking at moving to England. Oh, this is big. Shauna, you already liked, thank you. Blue Earth, I see your request there too. Okay, so Isamara, this is where we're going here. We're getting a card from Angel Answers, but then I'm also going to pull a card for staying in Portugal and moving to England. Okay? So let's have a card here for Isamara about moving to England to start working as a doctor. Have a card for Isamara. Okay. And then I'm going to pull two tarot cards. One for staying in Portugal and one for moving to England. So let's have this card here for staying in Portugal. What's the information about staying in Portugal? Isamara. And what is the information about moving to England? Okay. All right, let's see what we have here. This is a big decision, right? Of which you will make on your own. But Angel Answers. Interesting. Okay, a card for staying in Portugal. 9 of Wands. So staying in Portugal is like you've been doing this, you've been working hard. You've been working hard to develop as a doctor or working as a doctor. You've been on this path, maybe searching to move someplace, right? and you're just about there. So don't give up. And I feel like, let me see what this other card is, because what I feel like is that this is more about saying, your decision is actually coming to you and it's going to be very clear. It just doesn't feel super clear right now. That's a little bit what I get. But let me see what England is. England is the world. Oh, this is so interesting. I might have to pull some more cards. The world it's where we end and begin again. It's where you go out and do you in the world. This is your dance, your time, your journey. So there's, but the interesting angel answer is saying, no, your boyfriend lives there. It's also important for you. Yeah, but let me go back to your question. This is where I'd like to dive deep, but we can't really do that in this reading. I live in Portugal, but I've been thinking about moving to England next year. Is it a good decision? So in Portugal, you get the Knight of Pentacles showing up, which is very reliable. This is very steady. This is, resourceful, practical, good finances. This is very stable for you staying in Portugal. In England, you have the Page of Cups. And the Page of Cups, you see that little fish jumping out of that cup there? It may be feeling a little bit like a fish out of water for you to go to England. But it also might be teaching you something about who you are emotionally, about tapping into your intuition to find your decisions. Like it's bringing you back to like being the curious one, being the student. You have lots of experience and stability and knowledge in Portugal. England is saying there's a whole bunch of stuff you can be doing, and it's going to seem like starting completely over, and you're going to seem a little bit like you have no idea what you're doing. But you're willing to look at it, and you're willing to explore it. You're talking about your boyfriend. The cups are about relationships and emotions and love and all of that. So it might be going into that relationship with your boyfriend like starting over, right? Figuring it out. The angel answers of no is very interesting. And the next card is it's up to you. So what I get from it is the no is like the thinking part. And the card coming in saying it's up to you is saying don't overthink it. It's really up to you, whatever you want to do. And what I said to you was this is a big decision that has to be yours. And it is up to you. But this is a big move. There's stability and maybe feeling like you may have run your course in Portugal, maybe feeling like been there, done that, but it's pretty stable for you. There's a lot of dancing and new things and things jumping out of cups that might be in England for you. If you want to do a deeper reading into that, get in touch with me and I'd be happy to do a reading for you. Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for patience, but we really had to look at that for Isamara for sure. Okay. Let's see. Yo soy infinitis. I always wanted to live in Portugal. What an awesome experience you are living so far. Yeah, how nice. And your question is, may I ask about a figure wearing dragon skin type of armor watching me at the doorway when I was a kid? Hmm. You're welcome, Isamara. You're welcome. May I ask about a figure wearing dragon skin type of armor watching me at the doorway when I was a kid? Hmm. I'm not sure where to go with that one. Bye, Alice. Thank you for joining. Where would we go with that one? I'm not sure my cards could tell you much about it, but I think what yes, exactly. My mediumship probably could, but this isn't necessarily the venue for that. Um, but that's where I was going, Laurie. No, 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 no. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. What I think is, I would like to pull a card that is more empowering to you to to really explore that. So that either, and you may have done that already, right? Oh, you have me stumped. It's not often I don't have much to say. But let's get a card. Yo soy infinitus. Let's get a card of what Yo soy infinitus needs to understand about this dragon skin figure in dragon. Figure in dragon skin armor. Hmm. Hmm. Thank you, Kathy. You may want to connect with me and have a real deep down reading. Thank you. Yeah, we've got the Four of Wands here. And so, wands going back to your intuition, going back to your power, going back to your spirit realm is wands. The four being related to the emperor. But this card really is really about celebrating because you can let go of sort of the rigidity a little bit of the emperor. This is celebrating you. I need to give this some thought and sit with this quiet and figure this out. So you are welcome to send me an email, and you can find that in the description below so that I have your email. And let me sit with this card and see what might pop up here. Standing at the doorway when I was a kid. Yeah, I really don't know what to do with that question. And I sure appreciate you asking it, by the way, because this is a challenge for me. So thank you. But I'm going to dive into that. So allow me to do that. If you wish, send me your email. Send me an email. I'll have yours. Okay. I've decided to finally ask what in the world that was. Yeah, it's worth exploring for sure. But you know what? You asked. And I don't know if this is the first time that you're asking. It sort of looks like it might be. Um, so now you've opened that. You've opened that vault that you've been wondering all this time. And now maybe you can see what it really was. Sometimes what happens when we have this experience and we hold it in and we don't really talk about it, maybe you journaled about it at the time, but sometimes we create it to be something more, right? So having asked it and having opened to it, then it may allow you to see it a little bit more clearly, may allow you to start feeling some things about it. And I think that's what I would go is maybe go journal about it and draw what you saw. Yes. Draw what you saw and see what else comes when you're drawing. What does it look like? And what are the words? What do you feel? What's happening? Just go and write and draw. That will be very telling. It was during some interesting times in Baja California. Like, was ayahuasca involved by chance? Okay. Yeah. I mean, you might have been, yes, you might have been going to other, planes. Yeah. Lucid dreaming, all kinds of things. Okay. Let's get to, that was great, by the way. Okay. Let's get to Jean Mita because we have to write this up. No, it was during this time of lights in Tecate and Tijuana. Ah, lights, things coming to light, right? Awakening from something that maybe you held down there for a while. And that's coming through to you in this dragon skin. Gosh, we've got some folks on here that we could probably sit and contemplate this for a while, by the way. Uh, so for those of you who are sitting on here, if you've got things that are sort of, popping into you, because remember, we're all connected here synchronistically, we're connected here energetically. We're feeling each other. So for those folks on here, if something's hitting with you, do me a favor and email it to me and I'll share it with Yo Soy. Yeah. Okay, let's get to Jean, and that will be our last reading. Want to know if Colton will visit me this year. I hope so. Thank you and God bless. Um, Gosh, I don't know about Colton visiting you. I don't know. I would say this, call Colton and say, if you want him to visit, Colton, get your butt over here. I would like you to visit. Um, you are welcome. Yo soy. Um, and then see what happens. The other thing too, Jean, is can you go visit Colton if you want? But let's get a card here for Jean and Colton. What does she need to know about visiting? What does Jean need to know about visiting with Colton? Nine of Swords. Instagram. Nine of Swords. So, Jean, this is sort of waking up to the reality. This is waking up from maybe some, the word torture is coming to mind for some reason. So if you've been feeling sort of tortured about this, is Colton visiting? Is he not visiting? Is he ever going to come see me? This is sort of waking up from that and taking a look at like, okay, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what was going on, but now I'm seeing things clearly. So again, whether that's you waking up and saying, what do I have to wait for? Why do I have to wait for Colton to come visit me? What's that all about? I'll just go visit him if that's it. Or what the heck am I sitting around waiting for? If Colton doesn't want to visit me, why am I waiting? I should be doing something else. So there's something that is calling you to wake up and see what it is that needs to be seen. That is more the reality check. That's what I've got. Okay, folks, thank you. Thank you for joining. This was a little bit of a long one. We did, yeah. So thank you everybody for being here. Again, if you wouldn't mind giving it a thumbs up, a like, a comment, subscribe on YouTube, follow me on Instagram. That would be great. If you would like to subscribe to my newsletter, you have that in the bio on Instagram. You have it down below in YouTube. I will be coming out with new card reading promos for newsletter subscribers. And otherwise, I should see all of you back here next Sunday, right? Okay, everybody, be well. Enjoy this full moon, this eclipse. It affects all of us, whether you believe it or not. It does. Thank you, Kathy. Glad I've returned. Yes, it's good to be back. I missed all the furries. So thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, Josoi. Thank you, Laurie. You are welcome. Everyone, have a great week. All right. See you next time. Be in peace. Be in love. Bye. Bye.